Hey Tesla friends, I'm back again. I'm your Tesla friend. Here is another, I guess you call it the urban chargers. They're half the kilowatt hour or whatever. They're 72 k-watts or something of power. And there's appears to be 8 chargers here. And I can tell you a couple of things. The chargers right there, you know, those guys right there, those are the guys that charge. That's the charging equipment. And it's good that they're far away from the cars. When I park as far away from those as possible. That's a good thing. They're putting more of these chargers locally around the city, which is a good thing. See these things? They block your tires block your car from hitting the rear end if you go too far back. That's a good thing. You can see how some are farther back. I would choose those because we're in a parking garage. You want to get your car out of the driving lanes as much as possible. Again, this is good. Tesla has finally figured out to make these things low enough so we don't bottom out our cars. That was a problem before that they never figured that part out. But luckily, I think it's been figured out. Finally, Tesla has figured out something. They've done something right. Now, what's wrong with this situation here? What's wrong is apparently we're on the 6th level, level 6. We're in North Bethesda, Maryland, also considered Rockville, Maryland, but there's also another urban charger in Rockville, Maryland, north of here. Not too far away, maybe like 3 to 5 miles away, very close, probably 3 miles, I don't know, definitely 5 miles, no more. So we're kind of looking at what's going on here. This is on level 6 of the parking garage. That's a bad thing. When Tesla puts their chargers in garages, they should try to put them as close to the ground floor as possible. Now, we're talking about safety, people. Now, if you look down, it doesn't really look that bad. If you look down there, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like we're in the 6th floor, but we are. So, as I've always said, Tesla has put their superchargers in remote locations. They hide them in the back of parking garages or hide them behind the shopping centers or behind the hotels where nobody goes, and that's a safety hazard for us as people driving Teslas. You don't want to be back there, trust me, especially if you travel at night. You go back there, there's nobody there. This garage is free 2-hour parking. It's my first time here. I don't believe there's any validation, so that's a good thing, no validation. Now, if you go to the real Rockville Supercharger north of here, less than 5 miles, there is 2 hours free parking with validation. So you have to go to a business or the library or something to validate your ticket. Now, what if you go there in the middle of the night when nobody's open? As far as I know, you're going to be paying maybe like $3 or something to park. I don't know what the fees are. I think if the 3rd hour, I think is $3. So I assume if you don't get validated for the first 2 hours free, I'm assuming it starts at $3. But again, Tesla should warn us. Tesla should show this on their screen. When we click to go to the supercharger, they should tell us if there's a parking fee, if there's a validation, whatever, and they don't do that. Now, don't we understand Tesla to be a technology company? Well, you're just putting information on the screen for us to read. So, again, I'm a critic of Tesla. I'm a critic just because it's a shortcoming, which I think Tesla could make better. Now, if you go around here, we're on the 6th floor here. There's nobody. I don't even see a single car out here. Nobody. This garage has the 7th floor, I believe. I'm not sure how many floors. There's at least one more level above us. But anyways, let me take a walk down this way, see what we got here. We're lucky because it's all Tesla charging. Sometimes you have to share charging with non-Tesla cars, meaning that they can park in the spot for like 30 minutes or something. So, okay, this is disabled. Use this charging spot last. That's a good thing. There's no sign on the floor, on the ground that's painted, but that can be confusing if you put a sign like that. So that's probably not a good thing. But anyways, sometimes I have an idea where I'm hoping that superchargers could be like a drive-through lane, so that way people can get behind you. I'm hoping Tesla will automate it where they route you. Once you route to a supercharger, they will queue you up, so you'll get preference to charging first. When you get there, it will tell you which lane to go into to go behind any particular car. Or what they can do also is have one lane to queue for all cars. That way when a spot opens up, you take it. I wish Tesla would put out some etiquette at superchargers, because a few weeks ago, a month ago, I was at the Rio Supercharger, and over there I was waiting for a spot to open up at the superchargers. That one is very busy, and unfortunately they even put general public parking in the spots for 30 minutes, which is a bad thing. Just rewrite the contract. Tell whoever owns the lot that we need the spots. It's only a few spots. It's only like 6 spots. It's not that much. But anyways, I was there, and there's a middle-aged white gentleman, maybe middle-aged to older gentleman, who was second, but when a spot opened up, he insisted on jumping to that spot. And when I told him I was waiting for a spot, he asked me to drive around the block or drive around the parking lot and come back. That way he can get out. And I told him there's plenty of room for him to back out of the spot. And then he tried to tell me that I was blocking traffic, and I told him I moved into a parking spot just to avoid blocking traffic. And he stayed in the driving lane all the time while we were waiting, so he was actually blocking all the traffic. I was avoiding blocking traffic, and I actually pulled into a Tesla spot that was broken, that was not charging, and I pulled him backwards so he knows that I was not charging. And I had my car halfway out of the parking spot waiting for a spot to open, so he knew I was not charging. He knew I was not parking. But unfortunately, when a spot came open, he pulled right in, and I was right there pulling up to the spot as he was pulling in, and he saw me coming, and he knew I was first. And then he tries to claim that he didn't know. He thought I wasn't waiting. I was moving my car back and forth. Whenever there's traffic coming, I would back into a spot. When the traffic moved out of the way, I would pull back out to the driveway. Half of my car would stick out. I would have my lights on, so there's no way he didn't see me. And it was clear that I was waiting for a spot. And then finally, after I told him it doesn't, I was explaining to him that I was trying to keep the driveway clear. He just said, screw it, he's got to just charge. So you get people like that. He had Maryland tags, a dark colored Tesla. The last 2 digits of the tag was a 70. So if you see a guy like that and he pulls a trick like that again, he is a chronic person that pulls tricks like that. But anyways, I can see the Tesla charger things here. Again, I like to stay away from these things, high voltage. But also, other than high voltage, you see all those big wires there, or their cases? It looks like it's coming through this pipe on the ceiling here. and it's going down through the middle of the garage. But apparently, yeah, so you get people like that, which is a shame. There's been times at chargers I've even offered to give up my charging spot to people that show up. When I ask them, are they in need of charging? Are they low in charging? Yeah, I've given up my spot when I had enough charge to get me where I was going. But anyways, that's where all that stuff is going, straight down there. So there you have it, people. This is the Tesla Supercharger, North Bethesda. I hope Tesla will heed my suggestions and help make the supercharging system better. Again, the queue system, where when you set the GPS to go to a charger, it puts you into a queue. People know you're showing up. The people see how many people are queued up at that charger, not just how many spots are open. I mean, right now Tesla only tells you how many chargers are open, and they don't tell you how many people are waiting. But this system, with routing your GPS to a supercharger, will put you into a queue. That would be a better system. So again, please like and subscribe. I know my videos are not that professional, but this is a start. The important thing is to get information out to you, so please subscribe. I need to get more subscribers. Thanks, Tesla friends.